This is the story of two Etsy shops, one characterized by hasty decisions and the other marked by thoughtful strategy. Today, I'm going to show you what I did differently with these two shops and how you can avoid becoming the poor Etsy shop. Welcome to Cha-Ching. My name is Terry, and I'll be your guide through the Etsy maze and your partner in crime, all things small business. With over a decade of experience on Etsy and over 2 decades of experience as an entrepreneur, I'm here to bring some order to this creative chaos. Get ready to emerge from this journey not just as an Etsy survivor, but as a thriving business owner. Let's start with a few facts for some context. Poor Etsy Shop is 5 years old and was not my first Etsy shop. There have been 3 others in the past that were closed either because my ADHD brain just lost interest or because I realized that the product I was making was too time consuming to scale. Just over 2 years ago, I started a second shop that we will refer to in this video as the Rich Etsy Shop. To be fair, poor Etsy Shop did make quite a bit of money, but is now struggling and will only survive if I implement these 3 strategies that I initially implemented on my Rich Etsy Shop. Rich Etsy Shop is a thriving, growing shop that is firmly established and seemingly immune to Etsy's algorithm changes and bipolar sales swings. Let's get into these 3 strategies that make a difference between a poor Etsy shop and a rich Etsy shop. Strategy 1, branding. It's easy to underestimate the power of branding. It's me. I underestimated the power of branding. The poor shop had next to zero branding. I did create a logo, but boy, that was a hasty creation and I just slapped it up and went, right? There was no other branding. Initially, that shop did okay with a pretty big boost from the pandemic. However, when everything opened back up, that shop started to decline. This is a common talking point among shops who were around during the pandemic. The boost was directly related to lockdown, and so was the decline of the shop after the lockdown ended. It wasn't dead, so I just let it run and I decided to start another shop. By that time, I had watched a ton of videos on YouTube and I was figuring out the problem pretty fast. Sometimes you're just too close to something to see the problem, you know? For the new shop, I did create the logo, but I put a lot of careful thought into it. I also created a brand color palette and I made sure that those colors were throughout my shop. In my logo, in my banner, in my listing photos, everything was cohesive. All of these things made a big difference in the second shop. It grew steadily and I began to see something that I hadn't seen very often in poor Etsy shop. Return customers. They were insanely loyal, and that return customer base grew like crazy. Sure, I had a few return customers in my poor Etsy shop because my products were pretty good, but for the most part, those customers just saw me as just another Etsy shop. They saw my shop and Etsy as one and the same. To my Rich Etsy shop customers, my business was their go-to. As Rich Shop grew, I added branded boxes and envelopes, and I continue to grow that branding even now. Does this mean you have to spend a ton of money on branding up front? Absolutely not. Here's a list of some things that you can do that are very low cost or free of charge. Number 1, brand colors. Here's an example of what a brand palette looks like. Notice that there are contrasting colors like darks and lights, but all of them come together to create a theme. They complement one another. Pinterest is a great place to research color themes. Once you decide on a color theme, make sure you create it in a graphics program. I use Photoshop, but if you don't have that program, I suggest Canva. Their free version is pretty good. Make sure you list your hex codes and CMYK codes so that anytime you create marketing materials, you can easily refer to it and stay on brand. Number 2 is logo. Now that you have brand colors, you can create a logo. The no-cost option would be to go browse Pinterest and find something that you like. Take that over to Canva and then create a similar logo. I say similar, do not copy. You're not trying to imitate, you're trying to stand out. If you have a small budget to work with, there are Etsy sellers that can create a logo for you for as little as $35. Just make sure that whatever you create has your exact brand colors and that everything is cohesive. Number 3 is photographs. For me, this was the most daunting part. I am not a photographer, and I'm guessing you might not be a photographer either. I went through a lot of trial and error to figure out what works. It starts with making sure that you're considering your brand colors. So you need to pick a backdrop that vibes with that, and backdrop elements, and you need to not be all over the place with it. Everything needs to be consistent so that when someone enters your shop, it's pleasing to the eye. Now, as far as how to do the photographs, just go next to a window. You don't have to have fancy lights. I have lights now, but after 10 years of an Etsy shop and 5 Etsy shops, I still prefer to just have to photograph next to the window. Drop a comment below if you want to see my photograph set up in another video. The other benefit of shooting next to a window is, especially if you're shooting from your phone, is that you can edit the pictures right from your phone. And because you're using natural light, it doesn't really require a whole lot of editing. Pro tip: when taking pictures, also take a short video that you can add as a listing video. Customers love these listing videos. I can confidently state that they helped my conversion rate. If you're using mock-ups, do not use the free mock-ups. I know that there are free mock-ups out there. The problem is everybody uses the free mock-ups, and you're trying to stand out. So in order to do that, your mock-ups need to not be like everyone else's. This might require that you just spend a little bit of money or create your own mock-ups. Your photos need to stand out so you get those clicks. Number 4 is branded marketing materials. It's important that when a customer receives a package from you, that they recognize your brand. At first, you might not be able to splurge on branded envelopes or boxes, but I actually don't suggest you do that anyway. Your branding is going to evolve as you grow. Test out what you like and what works with your brand. It may change. There is one very inexpensive thing you can do here. Stickers. Have some stickers made, or make them yourself. You can get like the Avery sticker paper and print out some stickers yourself on your own printer at home. But whatever you do, get your logo on there, get your branding colors on there. Put a sticker on every package you send out. This will reinforce your shop to your customers, and they'll recognize you instead of Etsy. As finances allow, you can increase branding on your shipping materials. Strategy number 2, research. You may better recognize the term SEO, but it's nothing more than digging in to find out how to get your listing seen. In my poor Etsy shop, I did use the Etsy search bar and do some minimal research on a few products to find out what the best sellers were and to get some product ideas, but I only did that on a few products. And I feel absolutely silly now because those were the products that did the best. Why didn't I do that for all of them? For my rich Etsy shop, I went all out. I did major research, and we're not just talking the Etsy search bar. This is one area that I don't suggest you skimp on. It actually takes a lot more guesswork to figure it out through using the Etsy search bar. I mean, if that's what you're comfortable with, you can do it. It is definitely better than not doing anything at all. But there are some amazing tools out there that are so inexpensive. I can't believe how inexpensive they are. I'm not going to include a list for this strategy. I'm just going to show you on screen. My secret weapon for research is Erank. I love this company. You can get so much information from them to help you sell the right things. I suggest researching even before you design. This will just be a high-level look at how to get started with Erank. So I'm not going to cover everything that you can do with this program. That's a video in and unto itself. For research purposes, though, you're just going to start at the top search bar and enter a keyword. You want to use a very broad general keyword here. The purpose of this research is to find out what products sell really well, and you need to start broad. So let's enter the search term necklace and hit enter. There are only 2 columns that you need to be concerned about. I'm going to go down here. You need to be looking at average searches and Etsy competition. Average searches fluctuates monthly, so we're going to at first just pay attention to Etsy competition. Now we're going to sort this column by highest to lowest. You want the red at the top. So the top search volume all the way down to the lowest. And we're just going to scroll until we get to some green. You may have to change this to more keywords. So as you can see, we're still in the red, still on the red. We're going to go to the second page, and we're going to skip past the orange and yellow. We're looking for really great keywords, so we're going to start here where the green is. So 19,916 is pretty decent competition, and this is going to go lower and lower and lower, but also so will the search volume sometimes too. So you're looking for a diamond in the rough here. Okay, so the first thing I want you to notice now is we're going to go over here to average searches. Let's look at this halo necklace. You see that it only has 121 average searches per month, but that's like right now. Okay, if you look over here to the bar graph, you can see that word actually does really well in December. But I see one down here that looks really good. I mean, look at this search volume. Okay, it's got good competition. Oh, holy smokes. That's really good for May, probably Mother's Day. It's a picture necklace. So you see all the different months that it has good search volume. And then it even still has good search volume through here. So that's almost a all year round good keyword that really spikes 3 months of the year. So if you have the ability to make a picture necklace, and I'm assuming there's a lot of different ways to do it. I do offer sublimation in my shop, so I can see where you could do this with sublimation. I have actually looked at blanks for this before, but it is not something I'm interested in selling. It just wouldn't go with what I currently have in my shop. But I think this one's worth taking a look at. Okay, so now we want to analyze picture necklace. And there's a word over here that's not showing, so I'm going to do this real quick. Okay, so we're back here at picture necklace, and we want to go all the way over here to analyze. That's going to help us take a closer look at words that are associated with picture necklace. Okay, and we always want to make sure that you change this down here because you want to get all the keywords. But look, all of them are really pretty good. I mean, some of these are trash. I mean, that's not a lot. Well, I don't know. In March, that one gets pretty good searches. Sunflower picture inside of a necklace. It's only one time a year, but if you had a necklace and it was seasoned well before March, it might be a good seller for you for that month. But let's look at all the keywords that are good. Heart necklace with picture. That one's really good for December. Necklace with picture in it. Another one for December. This one's November, necklace with picture. So you see there's all different variations of keywords that you can use, and you need 13 tags for your listing. So you're going to try to pick up a lot of these. All of the keywords look really great for Christmas, and that there are some down here, like picture necklace for women. You know, that's November. Oh, here, dog picture necklace is 1180 in August. Okay, so I see a lot of different shapes. They're looking for rectangle, I've seen oval, I've seen heart. You know, so you could create a picture necklace listing that has these different options. Or you could create 4 separate listings, a heart necklace, picture necklace, and a rectangle picture necklace. So I'm going to do a picture necklace. So now we need to look at these other tabs here. So there are some tabs right here. Once you know that this is an item that you want to look at, you want to skip the SERP analysis and top tags. And I'm going to show you why we're going to skip top tags. There's a reason. Okay, so we're going to go to top listings because now we want to look at our competition. I'm going to do the same thing I did with the Etsy competition, but I'm going to make the estimated sales highest to lowest because we want to see what sells the most. And holy criminy, look at this estimated revenue. This is one shop selling this item. This has been listed for several years, but they have made $320,000 on that necklace. Looks like it's maybe some engraved pictures of their animals. Okay, so I'm going to look for the easiest thing, like right here. This one looks really good because this looks like you could either do that with sublimation or you could do it by putting the picture in. And I think there are, sort of clear things you can put on top. I don't know what the state of this necklace is, but if you'll see here, they have had almost $16,000 in revenue. Their pricing is $19.95. So this is one I would want to look closer into, okay, because this is like basically top 3, right? So we're going to go into the listing. You don't click here. That's their shop name. You click here, and this is going to tell us about this listing. So we can see they have a 100% visibility score, how many hearts they've gotten, how many total views for the life of the listing, how many views they get a day right now. Okay, and then we're going to scroll down and we're going to look at the keywords that they're using. So right off the bat, I see our keyword that we're wanting to use, and that's really, really good. But then I see personalized gift. Why would you ever put that in your listing unless you just didn't have any other keywords? You're not going to rank for this. I guarantee you this person is being seen probably for this keyword and maybe for this one too. So you see these, like, why would you use travel photo pendant? This is why we don't go to top tags. This is why we don't even look at that, because you don't want your listing to be like this. We're going to go back and we're going to get all of our keywords from that list we were first looking at that are all associated with picture necklace, and we're going to look for the very best ones here. And maybe you're only going to get maybe 8 from here, but I would also go in and search custom necklace or personalized necklace and find out what keywords associated with that. So you can see how you could easily come up with 13 really great tags. And you want all of yours to be great. If this person has made, $15,000 on this listing, how much more could you make if all of your tags were great? So I hope that gives you a good overview of Erank.
As a result of all my research, my organic reach for my rich Etsy shop is fantastic. It does seem to take a bit for the algorithm to pick it up, but when they do, it's just easy traffic. Erank does have a free version, but it is so worth the $5.99 a month to be able to thoroughly research your products. Strategy 3, marketing. This one is really tough for a lot of beginners. In my poor Etsy shop, I did start a Facebook, and I posted on it a few times, and then I abandoned posting altogether. I also started an Instagram and never posted on it. The only place I was getting any traffic from was Etsy. And if you've had any experience with the algorithm or the bipolar sales swings, you know how tough that can be. As my poor Etsy shop slowed down, there was nothing to give it a boost. It's not like I could all of a sudden post on social media now because it didn't make any difference. That takes time to grow. In contrast, for my rich Etsy shop, I did start a Facebook, an Instagram, and a Pinterest. At that time, I realized the value of the marketing, the social media platforms. I didn't post every day, but I did post at least once a week. And as a result, that traffic grew. And now when Etsy wants to have some sort of a seizure on me and not send people my way, I'm getting traffic from my social media platforms, from my Instagram, my Facebook, and my Pinterest. It's true that it can be overwhelming to add social media to your ever-growing list of things that you need to do. But it's very advantageous to bring them into Etsy via your own social media. You can be the first contact, not Etsy. For Rich Etsy Shop, I also created inserts and started a mailing list. Did you know that Etsy integrates with Aweber and allows you to collect email addresses? This is crazy good news. It's easy to just set it up and let it build over time. Eventually, you know that whenever you send out a newsletter or a sales notification, you're going to get some orders out of it. Sometimes your customers just need to be reminded that you're there. And this is your list. These are your customers. If anything ever happens with Etsy and you decide to leave or branch out or you just go a different way or you get shut down for some reason that's beyond your control, you have a mailing list that you can reach out to. So here's your list for marketing. Number 1 is social media. You don't have to get all three big social medias. And I don't know, you could even use TikTok or Twitter, or I guess it's X now. I just suggest that you get on whichever one you spend the most time on. So if you like Facebook, start a Facebook page. If you like Instagram, that's a good one, because then you can double post, because you can post to Instagram and it automatically will share to your Facebook group. So that's like 2 for 1 right there. Just pick a platform and start posting. Do a schedule that you can stick to. It does not have to be every day. If it's once a week, just be consistent. Number 2 is inserts. You can easily create these in Canva and print them out yourself. I, again, do not suggest you go having a lot of stuff printed out, but you can create it in Canva and then you can change it as you see the need to per sale. You don't have to do a whole bunch of them. Maybe just print out 25 to start. Inserts can be used to give your customer a coupon, share your social media with them, care instructions or use instructions. Don't try to make it too overwhelming. Just pick 1 or 2 things. Third thing on the list for marketing is a mailing list.
As I previously stated, Aweber integrates with Etsy, and this makes growing your email list easy peasy. Getting started will definitely need to be a video of its own. Comment below if you'd like to see a step-by-step of the process.
All right, so lastly, I have a bonus strategy, and I did decide to sort of throw this in last minute. This is a video about Etsy, and I do want to be very Etsy specific. This bonus strategy is one that I feel is fairly important. The bonus strategy is start a website once you get your Etsy shop under control. I've included this strategy because you should think of Etsy as your starting point, not the be-all, end-all. We've all heard the horror stories of Etsy shop owners trying to log in only to find that they've been suspended, and it could be no fault of their own. Don't let that be you. Understandably, this would be a bit much to do if you're just starting Etsy. So if you're here watching this video and you've just gotten started, or you're thinking about starting an Etsy, this is something to put in the back of your mind. This is something to have in your plan, okay? I would not neglect this. It's critically important to the health of your business. And some of you might just have this as a side hustle. But then what if this side hustle is taking care of your family down the road? What if this side hustle becomes a little bit bigger than what you thought it could be? Don't wait until something happens. Here's the truth. You can be the rich Etsy shop, or you can be the poor Etsy shop. You can be the rich business owner or the poor business owner. It is completely up to you. A little more work on the front end helps ensure that your shop will be profitable and have longevity. One algorithm change can wreak havoc on a shop. Comment below if you've had that experience, because I know I have. I strongly encourage you to put these strategies into place sooner rather than later. Don't wait until your shop is dying, like my poor Etsy shop, to make these changes. However, if you are struggling right now, it is not too late. I am making corrective actions right now in poor Etsy shop, and I intend to bring you a video later on down the road to show you the results of what happens when I implement these strategies back into that shop. So if you're on the struggle bus right now, just know that you can implement these 3 strategies now. Late is better than never. If you've stayed around to the end, thank you so much. This is my first video. I plan to do videos on Etsy, GoImagine, and Shopify. Like and subscribe if you'd like to go on this crazy journey with me. So until next time, see you later, alligator.